We now know that at 5 to 11 on Saturday the 5th of September, a taxi was called from 3 Emma Simpson Court using the telephone within the house. The taxi duly arrived. As it did so, a man came from the direction of the house carrying 2 suitcases. He came up to the taxi driver. The suitcases were put in the back of the taxi. The taxi was ordered in the name of Stephen. The man then went back into the house for up to 5 minutes. It's at this point that I believe that that man is setting fire to the house. We know that the taxi journey was booked to go to Normanby. That was changed by the man within the taxi, and the taxi was directed to Redcar Road in Southbank. We know that the taxi driver dropped this man off with the suitcases in Redcar Road, near to Upper Princes Street and the junction there, and the indication from the taxi driver was that the man was walking across the Millennium Park, Millennium Gardens. We have CCTV footage of a man which appears to be carrying suitcases on Ann Street with its junction with South Terrace, walking in the direction of Pym Street. This clearly opened up a number of lines of inquiry for us, and the investigation focus today has shifted heavily into the South Bank area. The man's described by the taxi driver as a white, in his mid-20s, around 5 feet 11 to 6 feet, of slim to medium build, with gingery brown coloured hair, wearing a light coloured fleece type jacket, similar to a tracksuit top, light blue jeans and white trainers. He had a long, thin face and a thin nose. And he had at that particular time, he had 2 to 3 days stubble, which is also gingery brown. He had a local accent, and the taxi driver believed he may have had a suntan. The taxi driver has tried to make conversation. The man has not particularly been interested. The taxi driver described him as being distressed, who wouldn't be, I would suggest, in the circumstances that have gone on prior to him getting that taxi. What sort of person is this that goes into this 85-year-old lady's house, strangles her, not satisfied with that, tries to cover his tracks and sets fire to the house, and then potentially locks the door behind him? I appeal directly to the people of Southbank. This person cannot be hid, cannot be assisted, cannot be aided in any way. Up until today, the focus of this inquiry has been in Stockton. It is now very much in Southbank, and I expect that the public there will be as appalled as I am that an 85-year-old lady could meet such a terrible death. She must have been terrified in those final moments, and I expect the public there to give us absolutely every bit of support and give us the name of the person responsible.